Has anyone ever told you that saving your money is actually keeping you broke? Well, yeah. Now that your girl has transitioned to a whole new tax bracket, I have actually learned some things about how self-made men and women not only become millionaires, but also how they transform that money into true wealth. And it just so happens that saving your money in the manner taught by most personal finance gurus is not it. Frankly, it's part of the reason you're still struggling to escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle, which is why today, your girl is going to break down why saving money doesn't really work and what you should be doing instead. Hey dreamers, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiana Clewis, executive pastor, money coach, and founder of a multi-million-dollar consulting business. I've made it my mission to help women align finance and business with ministry so that they can live out their kingdom purpose. So if you find that your coins are actually a roadblock to you building your business, ministry, or nonprofit on a full-time basis, well, come on, hang out with us. I've got some tips, tricks, and biblical strategies that will help you make that shift faster than you thought you ever could. Now that you know who I am and what's going on around here, let's go ahead and jump into the video. First, let me start by apologizing because, like so many other people out here teaching about personal finance and money management, I too have created videos talking about saving money. Why? Because for years, I was taught that if you work hard and save your coins, life will be great. You'll be able to handle emergencies, help your kids through college, live debt-free, travel the world, have nice things, and ultimately have a fabulous retirement. Well, I've learned through extensive research, conversations with the wealthy, and now personal experience that that's just not quite true. And there are several reasons for it. Reason number one is that your money is losing value while it's sitting in the bank, or under your mattress. According to a July 2023 survey by Bankrate.com of banks and financial institutions, the average annual interest rate on a savings account is 0.53%. That means if you have $10,000 sitting untouched in a savings account for an entire year, you're going to earn a grand total of $53. By contrast, if you look at inflation rates from the Bureau of Labor Statistics for the 10 years preceding the pandemic-related spikes, you'll see that most years range from anywhere from just over 1% to about 2.1%. By my calculations, the average from 2010 to 2020 was about 1.8%. So something that used to be worth $10,000 at the beginning of the year was $180 more expensive by the end of it, which says to me that that $53 you earned wasn't really keeping up. This reason alone is why you see so many rich and even wealthy individuals like Robert Kiyosaki, Tom Bilyeu, Grant Cardone, Stephan Graham, and others telling you actively to stop saving. Reason number two is that saving money to accomplish your goal takes significantly longer than just finding a way to earn the money. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, there isn't really a whole lot of money that you can pull from the bank to set aside. Yeah, you can pull back a little from this category, a little from that category, cut out a little more here, but for many people, that's only going to give them an extra $100 to $200 a month. And if all you can save is $200, then a $10,000 down payment on a house takes over 4 years to save for, which is why I've often found that my clients and I would spend the majority of our time figuring out strategies to help them earn more money. Because if we can earn you an extra $200 a week, then you can save that same $10K in just 12 months. And yeah, who wants to save for 4 years when you really can do it in one? The third and final reason I'm going to bring up is that many people are saving money for things that they actually shouldn't be spending the money on in the first place. Look, it's time for me to give you some tough love right here, so gird your loins. If you have to save for the vacation, you can't afford it, and that's okay. If you have to save up for Christmas gifts, you can't afford them, and that's okay. If you have to save up for a tool for your hobby, for concert tickets, for a fancy wedding, for purse, shoes, clothing, or jewelry, you can't afford them, and that's okay. Look, I know that it sounds harsh and I tried to take the sting out of it where I could, but one, none of the things I listed are necessities. Are they nice to have? Absolutely. Will you feel like you missed out if you don't have them? Yeah, sure, but you don't need them. And you're not going to die or lose your mind if you don't have them. Two, when I break down what you should be doing instead, you'll realize that getting those things when you can't afford them is significantly hindering your ability to afford them and much more later on down the road. To be clear, I have literally said no to all of these things at least one time in my life because I too couldn't afford them. So I'm not talking down to you, I'm simply telling you what I know and have experienced. So now that we got that out the way, let's go ahead and move on to what you should be doing. If you're watching this video, I already know there's like a 95% chance that you're not yet subscribed to the channel. So go ahead, tap that red subscribe button, and then let's get back to the video. If you want to stop going broke behind savings, you first have to change what you're saving for. In reality, there are only two types of things that we should be saving money for if we want to create long-term financial freedom and generational wealth. The first type of things are wealth-producing assets, which I will talk about more in a moment. The second type, though, is an emergency cash flow. Emergency cash flow is just literally your emergency fund. The idea is to have money set aside in advance for unexpected, immediate, and necessary expenses that we can't cover from our regular monthly income. This way, we avoid taking on high interest debt when the emergency happens, like payday loans or using credit cards that have terrible interest rates. For this, you should set aside 3 months of expenses if you do have short-term disability insurance and 6 months of expenses if you don't. Put that money in a high-yield savings account, which will earn you about 4% annually. That way your emergency fund is pretty much protected from inflation. Then I want you to leave it alone until you need it for an unexpected, immediate, and necessary expense. Oh, and if you're feeling anxious about trying to save that much money, what you can do is start by saving 1 month of expenses first, and then do the other things that I recommend in this video before tackling the rest. A wealth-producing asset is any asset that makes you more money. Another term for it is an investment. Most people assume I mean the stock market when I say investment. And while that's a form of investing, it isn't the only kind. According to Merriam-Webster, the literal definition of invest is to commit money in order to earn a financial return. So anytime you put money down with the expectation of getting money back, you are investing. If a person buys a house expecting prices to go up so they can earn equity, that's a form of investing. When you hire a business coach to help you grow your business, you are investing in the business. If you spend money on the tuition for a college degree or a program that opens doors for a high-paying career, that's investing in your skills. Because yes, your skills and talents are a wealth-producing asset when you leverage them properly. The truth that many of us overlook is that many financial coaches, experts, or gurus that have millions of dollars don't save their way to those millions. They earned them by investing. Oftentimes, they invested in the business that they use as their platform to teach you how to save money in the first place. This is one of the reasons you will actually see many of them eventually move into business coaching, financial investments, or some kind of self-help. While saving and cutting spending will help you get out of debt, they know that wise investing is what really brings about generational wealth. What does it mean for you? That means if you have an opportunity to invest in yourself, a business, or other venture that has a high probability of making you money, don't automatically say no just because you have debt or your emergency fund is too small. And yes, I do realize that for us former Dave Ramsey disciples, that sounds insane, but real talk, hear me out. At some point, you can't cut any more expenses, so the speed at which you can pay off debt or save money becomes fixed. The only way to speed up that process is to just make more money. And the beauty about making more money is that there isn't a cap to how much you can make. Let's say you have $10,000 in credit card debt with an interest rate of 17%. According to Bankrate, this puts your minimum payment today at about $242. So let's say that you pay that amount each month. With that, it'll take you 5 years to pay off the credit card and cost you about $5,100 in interest. Now let's say you find an extra $150 in your budget and you have to choose between debt or investing it in opportunity. If you put it on the credit card, Bankrate says it'll cut your repayment time in half and shave $2,600 in interest off your repayment. So question, can you grow a small business that generates more than $2,600 in profit in 2.5 years? Yep. Can you make a career change that allows you to get a position netting you more than an extra $260 in 2.5 years? Yeah. Can you create a self-published book or product and put it on Amazon to net you more than $2,600 in 2.5 years? Yes to that too. Frankly, any or all those options can net you that $2,600 difference in like 6 months. So you put the $2,600 generated by that investment on the card to pay it down faster, and then you keep investing the original $150 if needed to create more extra income. This concept of investing is how my husband and I grew our cybersecurity business. We invested time and personal money to take the brand new company to $40,000 in revenue in year 1. Then we took half that money, invested in a business coach, and hit $2.3 million in revenue the next year. Following year, kept following the coaching, kept paying for more coaching, going to masterminds, and the year after that, we got to $12 million. Might even a little bit more. I'm just giving you the number off the top of my head. But even now, as we keep investing in team members and technology and consultants and experts and more coaches, we're on pace to continue to grow that number again this year. Now we're also branching out and investing in other things outside the business to keep that income growing exponential. And that's something that you can do, but you have to start with your first investment. Is there a risk that you may fail or it may take longer than you expected? Absolutely. Nothing in life is guaranteed, so there is a chance that the investment may not work out as planned. But the truth is that self-made millionaires and billionaires exist because they played offense with their money by using it to make them more money instead of always playing defense by saving and hoarding it. Don't handicap your financial future by ignoring your investment opportunity just because you do happen to have some debt still. Keep your eyes peeled, do your research, and then take action. And hey, if you need help with that, I know someone who loves helping women align finance and business with ministry so they can live out their kingdom purpose. Yeah, I'm talking about me. That's just me. To link up, all you have to do is head to my website at tianabclewis.com/breakthrough, and you can book a free 30-minute strategy session with me. Together, we'll look at where you are, where you believe God is guiding you, and craft a plan to help you bridge that gap in less time than it takes to cook dinner. Unless you're like me and don't cook, but don't judge me. Finally, don't forget to let me know that you found this video useful by hitting that thumbs up button and subscribing to my channel by clicking the big red button below. Be sure to hit the bell so that you're notified each week when I drop new money tips and biblical strategies, because yes, your girl is back, all right? We are back, like we in this thing back, all right? So if you are ready to step boldly into your God-given calling full time, be sure that you're here every time I drop a new video. With that, I'm going to get back to work and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.